Yesterday, we have finished reading the introduction. Today, we are going to dive into the sutta itself. Chapter 3, approaching the Dhamma. The first sutta, not a secret doctrine. These three things, monks, are conducted in secret, not openly. What three? Affairs with women, the first one. The mantras of the Brahmins, and wrong view. In contrast, but these three things, monks, shine openly, not in secret. What three? The moon, the sun, and the Dhamma and discipline proclaimed by the Tathagata. Taken from Anguttara Nikaya 3:129. The second sutta, no dogmas of blind belief. Okay, Sister Chai Kwan, would you like to read?
Thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was wandering on tour together with a large sangha of monks when he arrived at a town of the Kalamas named Kesaputta. Now the Kalamas of Kesaputta heard. It is said that the ascetic Gotama, the Sakyang son who went forth from a Sakyang family, has arrived at Kesaputta. Now a good report about that Master Gotama has been circulating thus. That Blessed One is an Arahant, perfectly enlightened, accomplished in true knowledge and conduct, fortunate, knower of the world, unsurpassed leader of persons, to be tamed, teachers of devas and humans. The enlightened one, the Blessed One, having realized with his own direct knowledge this world with its devas, Mara, and Brahma, this population with its ascetic and Brahmins, with its devas and humans, he makes it known to others. He teaches a Dhamma that is good in the beginning, good in the middle, and good in the end, with the right meaning and expression. He reveals a spiritual life that is perfectly complete and purified. Now it is good to see such arahants. Thank you.
Thanks, Sister Chai Kwan. Let's take a look for notes number 2. MP, the commentary, explains that this town was located at the edge of a forest. Various groups of wanderers and ascetics would stop there to spend the night before crossing the forest. During their stay, they would give talks to the Kalamas, and the Kalamas were thus exposed to a wide range of philosophical theories. The conflicts between the different views caused them doubt and perplexity. Footnotes number 3. The above is thought passages in the Nikayas. So, which above? From this line, that Blessed One is Arahant, perfectly enlightened, all the way until the end. You will see this recurring in the suttas. So let me highlight this. So basically, the first paragraph just established the background. The Buddha wandering on tour with his group of monks, and then he arrived at this town of the Kalamas named Kesaputta. And then the Kalamas already heard beforehand the quality of the Buddha and repeat the stop passage in the Nikayas. Now that the background is established, let's continue reading. The next one, Sister Aikin, would you like to read?
Then the Kalamas of Kesaputta approached the Blessed One. Some paid homage to him and sat down to one side. Some exchanged greetings with him, and after their greetings and cordial talk, sat down to one side. Some saluted him reverentially and sat to one side, and remained silent and sat down to one side. Then the Kalamas said to the Blessed One, Venerable Sir, some ascetic and Brahmins who come to Kesaputta explain and elucidate their own doctrines, but disparage, debunk, revile, and vilify the doctrines of the others. But then some other ascetics and Brahmins come to Kesaputta and they too explain and elucidate their own doctrines, but disparage, debunk, revile, and validify the doctrines of the others. For us, Venerable Sir, there is perplexity and doubt as to which of these good ascetics speak truth and which speak falsehood.
Thanks, Sister Akim. So this one, actually, it reminds me of even our Dhamma talks today. Let's take a look. Some paid homage to him and sat down to one side. Yeah. Some talks to the Venerable, exchanged greetings with him. After the greetings and some chit-chat with him, they also sat down to one side. Some saluted him reverentially and then sat down to one side. But there are some people also remaining silent. Yeah, the quiet ones sat down to one side. So this image is, I can see it happening, you know, even in the modern times and also in the ancient times. Finally, the Kalamas asked the Buddha, said to the Buddha, some ascetics and Brahmins come here, explain and elucidate their own doctrines, and disregards, debunk, disparage, revile, and vilify the doctrines of others. And some other ascetics and Brahmins come to Kesaputta, they also explain their own doctrines and debunk the others. So with these many opposing views, the Kalamas are perplexed. There's perplexity and doubt. There's a confusion. So which one is the truth? Which one is false? This is the question they raised for the Buddha. Next paragraph, Sister Jolene, would you like to read?
Sure, Brother. It is fitting for you to be perplexed, O Kalamas. It is fitting for you to be in doubt. Doubt has risen in you about a perplexing matter. Come, Kalamas. Do not go by oral tradition, by lineage of teaching, by hearsay, by a collection of texts, by logic, by inferential reasoning, by recognized cogitation, by the acceptance of a view after pondering it, by the seeming competence of a speaker, or because you think the aesthetic is our teacher. But when you know for yourself, these things are unwholesome, these things are blamable, these things are censured by the wise, these things, if untaken and practiced, lead to harm and suffering, then you should abandon them.
Thanks, Sister Jolene. Let's take a look at footnotes number 4. The ascetic is our teacher. Okay, well, this is a long one. Let's take a look. These 10 inadequate criteria of truth can be grouped into 3 classes. The first comprises the first 4 criteria, all positions based on reference for tradition. Of these, oral tradition, Anusava, refers to the Vedic tradition, which according to the Brahmins, had originated with the primal deity and came down orally through successive generations. Lineage, parampara, signifies an unbroken succession of teachings or teachers. Hearsay or report, itikara, may mean popular opinion or general consensus. And the fourth one, a collection of texts, pitaka sampada, refers to religious texts regarded as infallible. The second set, also made out of 4 terms, is comprised of 4 types of reasoning recognized by thinkers in the Buddha's age. The differences need not detain us here. And the third set, made out of the last 2 items, refers to 2 types of personal authority. The first one, the personal charisma of the speaker, perhaps including his external qualification, example that he is highly educated, has a large following, is respected by the king, and the speaker's status as one's own personal teacher. The Pali word garu is identical with the Sanskrit guru. For detailed analysis, see Jayatilike, Early Buddhist Theory of Knowledge. Okay, there's a long footnote explaining this part. The 10 listed by the Buddha, the 10 item. Oral tradition, lineage of teaching, hearsay, so on and so forth, until the last one, because the ascetic is our teacher. So, what is the solution proposed by the Buddha? 3 things. The first one, these things are unwholesome. Second one, these things are blamable. Oops. And the third one, these things are censored by the wise. Yeah, actually the Buddha proposed 4. Unwholesome, blamable, censored by the wise, and the last one, these things, if undertaken and practiced, lead to harm and suffering. Then you should abandon them. Okay, and then in the next paragraph, the Buddha elaborates further. Sister Singhui, would you like to read?
What do you think, Kalamas? When greed, hatred, and delusion arise in a person, is it for his welfare or harm? For his harm, Venerable Sir. Kalamas, a person who is greedy, hating, and deluded, overpowered by greed, hatred, and delusion, his thoughts controlled by them, will destroy life, take what is not given, engage in sexual misconduct, and tell lies. He will also prompt others to do likewise. Will that conduce to his harm and suffering for a long time? Yes, Venerable Sir.
Okay, thanks, Sister Singhui. Let's take a look at footnote number 5. Greed, hatred, and delusion are the 3 unwholesome roots. The aim of the Buddha's teaching Nibbana is defined as the destruction of greed or lust, hatred, and delusion. Thus, the Buddha is guiding the Kalamas towards the heart of the teaching. Okay, this is one of the Buddha's skillful way to lead the Kalamas to, or his disciples to the conclusions. How? By asking them questions and letting them answer the questions by themselves. So the Buddha starts with, what do you think, Kalamas? When greed, hatred, and delusion arise in a person, is it for his welfare or harm? The answer comes from the Kalamas himself. I think it's even more powerful because the Kalamas arrive to the conclusion by themselves. For his harm, Venerable Sir, here's the reply. Kalamas, a person who is greedy, hating, and deluded, overpowered by greed, hatred, and delusions, and do all this, and break all these 5 precepts, taking life, stealing, engage in sexual misconduct, tell lies. Drinking is not included here, but he also encourage, prompt others to do likewise. Then the Buddha asked him, will this lead to a suffering for a long time? And then the Kalama replied, yes, Venerable Sir. Okay, next, Sister Billy, would you like to read?
What do you think, Kalamas? What do you think, Kalamas? Are these things wholesome or unwholesome? Unwholesome, Venerable Sir. Blamable or blameless? Blamable, Venerable Sir. Censured or praised by the wise? Censured, Venerable Sir. Undertaken and practiced, do they lead to harm and suffering or not? Or how is it in this case? Undertaken and practiced, these things lead to harm and suffering. So it appears to us in this case.
Okay.
It was for this reason, Kalamas, that we said, do not go by oral tradition.
Okay, thanks, Sister Billy. See. Okay, so the Buddha continues with a series of questions. Again, the Buddha asks, what do you think, Kalamas? Are these things wholesome or unwholesome? The Kalamas replied, unwholesome, Venerable Sir. Blamable or blameless? Blamable, Venerable Sir. Censored or praised? Censored. Undertaken and practiced. Do they lead to harm and suffering? Yes, they replied. And it was for this reason, Kalamas, that the Buddha said, do not go by oral traditions, ... Yeah, this is the repeat of the previous passage. Do not go by oral tradition, by hearsay, until the end. Okay, I think this is a good time to stop. Any questions or comments? If not, let's do a dedication. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了。普愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a blameless Sunday ahead. Thanks everyone for participating. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Happy holiday. Bye-bye.
Happy holiday, happy long weekend.
You too.